Hey, what's up, Fighter? Fightman64 here, and welcome back to another tier list video. Last time, we took on the GBA Mario Kart game, Mario Kart Super Circuit, and determined all 20 of the Nitro track and ranked them from best to worst. This time, it's Mario Kart Double Dash's turn, and it's time for us to rank all 16 tracks and determine which of the tracks are from best to worst. This was meant to be done in the month of May, but I got caught up in doing something else and didn't have time to do the tier list for Mario Kart Double Dash. So, that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. So, before we start, do me a huge favor and push that like button on this video. I would really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button today if you are not a subscriber already, because we still got a lot of you watching my videos as a non-subscriber. And if you're one of them, do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button today and let's reach that next goal of 600 subs. And also, hit the notification bell if you enjoy gaming content such as this one. So, like always, we got 5 different categories this time around. S are tracks that I consider to be my all-time favorite, in which I call them the GOATs of the Mario Kart Double Dash tracks. And A rank are tracks that I love but don't consider them favorites. B are tracks that I do like. C are a track that I don't really care for, but don't think they're all that bad. And then D tier are a track that I don't really like too well. I don't really have much for which track I think is the worst, but there may be one or two there, but let's find out together by ranking all 16 tracks, starting with Luigi Circuit. First track of the game. And oh boy, is this an interesting one. So, how is this interesting, you may ask? Well, this really comes from which engine class you're doing. Like, if you're doing this on 50cc, basically beginner's engine class, well, you'll notice that there are rails in which you can't do that brawl down in the middle. However, if you're not playing this on a 50cc, then you'll notice the guardrails are not there, which means you can have your little brawl down in the middle section of the track if you want to. There's also a little change up that will attack you if you get too close to it, but he's really easy to dodge. And there's also like dash panels that you can go for. But yeah, Luigi Circuit, I think this is a pretty decent track, but it's not my favorite circuit track of them all. This is gonna get at least a B tier for like the subtle differences, cause it's a basic track for the most part, but with very little difference, and it improves a little bit, but not much. Anyway, next we go to Peach Beach, a tropical island area where we have cataquack to avoid and deep water to avoid as well. There's also pipe that you can go to, which doesn't really help you all that much. And there's like 2 different sections. Well, 2 different junctions. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. There's one where the cataquacks are, and the other side is where jump ramp is there. It's optional, but feel free to do that if you want to. And there's also the option to loop around the fountain in case you want to do that for some reason. Peach Beach, well, it's an alright track, but it's not my favorite one at best. Now, the cataquack, what they do is that they pretty much lift you up in the air and that's it. But other than that, not too much of an exciting track, but I don't think this is the worst one. C tier it is. Anyway, next we have the third track of the game, Baby Park. And all I'm going to say is this. Mario Kart Double Dash plus Baby Park equal total chaos. And that is why it's going to be going to the S tier, believe it or not. Now, I know some people are going to probably be furious at me for putting Baby Park in S rank, but I have a reason for that. Because, in my opinion, the OG of Baby Park and Mario Kart Double Dash, it defines what Mario Kart Double Dash is. And it defines chaos with having double items and special items in possession. It may be a simple track with 7 laps to go around the oval-shaped track, but I actually find it pretty fun to, like, toy with your opponent with item and, like, overlap them every chance you get. Now, it may not be everyone's favorite, but it is for me for the OG of Baby Park. And me and my cousin, we both love that track. And it gives us so much nostalgia when we play that track. Simple, but fun. And chaotic. So, S tier it is for Baby Park. And now we move on to Dry Desert, which is really a track I don't care for. So, you have Pokies that can easily be dodgeable, but they can be tricky to avoid if you're not careful when they like lean their body to like one side or to the other side. There's also like a Dirt Devil tornado that goes around the track, and there's also a little quicksand in the middle, which all are easily avoidable. Anyway, now the only advice I can give for dodging the quicksand is to like not get very close to the quicksand. Because if you get too close to this quicksand, then you're gonna get gobbled up by a piranha plant that's sitting there. Now, while I do think the quicksand and like the Dirt Devil and the Pokey are good, it really is just a boring track as a whole, and I don't really like this track too well. And the music for that, not too great, honestly. I'm sorry, but I gotta put this to D tier, because Dry Desert, it kind of leaves like a weak impact in my opinion. And it's not so memorable. Anyway, next we have Mushroom Bridge. This is pretty notable since you're pretty much going on a bridge and driving through a city where vehicles are either going your way or the same way as you, which is really what a lot of the city-based tracks should be. There's like a little bridge that you could go to the side where there's boost panels from the left and the right. There's a pipe which you can use for whatever reason, and then there's also a little shortcut that you can do where you can like skip a 180-degree turn about if you like have a mushroom in your possession. Now, Mushroom Bridge it's a decent track, but me personally, I don't really care for it all that much. I gotta put this to C tier. But what about Mario Circuit? Well, this to me is like one of the weaker circuits in my opinion. It doesn't really do much in way of improving the Mario Circuit, and I think this is probably one of the weakest Mario Circuit ever. Basically, you have that change up you gotta avoid again, and then you have like piranha plant that you gotta avoid, and Goombas, and defeating a Goomba with an item that gives you a mushroom, and that's really about it for the most part. I gotta put this to C tier. I don't find it much of a D tier, but it gets pretty close to D tier. Like, dangerously close. Anyway, next is Daisy Cruiser. Now, Daisy Cruiser, well, it's an alright track, I suppose. There's like sliding tables that you have to avoid. There's like a little water pole which you can't go through, until like later versions allow you to do that. There's also a little section where you can go below the ship and get launched off a cannon. Yeah, Daisy Circuit's alright, but I do think this is a little better than Peach Beach. That'll say much. It doesn't topple Luigi Circuit though, cause I kind of like the brawl down on the Luigi Circuit, but Daisy Cruiser, well, not too much. And your options of route on Daisy Cruiser is a little limited. Anyway, next up we have Waluigi Stadium. This is probably like one of the better tracks, and really Waluigi Stadium is like one of my favorite. You have like lots of ramp that you can jump from. There's like piranha plants that you gotta avoid, like cardboard piranha plant, I guess I should say, and the crowd boos every time you're hit by an item and that stuff. I think this is pretty cool. This is not the best Waluigi Stadium, because really, I think there is another Waluigi Stadium that is better than that. But I will give this at least an A. I do think this is much better than what Luigi Circuit is. It may not have much hazards there, but there are a few things for you to worry about. And I guess I should also say, Double Dash don't have many shortcuts here, which is why I'm, like, not really saying much in terms of shortcuts. Anyway, Sherper Land. I think that was what this, I think this is what that track is called. I forget. But basically, this one has skating Shy Guys, and there's also like freebies there that you gotta avoid. And hitting a freebie freezes you. And like I said with Daisy Cruiser, you can't go into the water. Cause if you fall into the water, then you're pretty much paying the price for that. And there's also ice physics too. I guess there is a little bit of a shortcut, but it's not really all that useful. I'm gonna put this probably ahead of Mario Circuit. Maybe ahead of Mushroom Bridge. But I honestly think I'm gonna put it between these two at the least. Anyway, Mushroom City is next, and Mushroom City. Oh boy. I have no idea where I'm going to rank Mushroom City, I'm going to be honest. I do think this is a little bit more interesting than what Mushroom Bridge is. There's like a little optional path that you can do at the beginning, and there like two junctions that you can go by. You can go to the one where the vehicles are going the same route as you are, or you could like try to take your chance and then go on the route where the vehicles are headed your direction. And then there's like the little narrow pathway you can go to on the right side, close to the end of the map. Or you could try to take your chance at the left side by like going between the lanes. This one I think is a little more interesting than Mushroom Bridge, if I'm going to be honest. And it does give you a little bit of a challenge. Putting this ahead of Daisy Cruiser, because why not? Anyway, Yoshi's Circuit is next, and to me, this is probably like one of the best circuits in the game. Better than Luigi Circuit, better than Mario. Why is it better than those two? Well, Yoshi's Circuit is literally a shape of a Yoshi. On the side, that is. There's like at least, I think, one or two shortcuts. I don't remember. But what I do know is that there is one of the shorts that you can do, like after you go through Yoshi's noggin, And when you're like going through the eyes of Yoshi, there's like a little pathway where a mushroom is required for you to make that shortcut. It's a tricky one, but yeah. There's also like piranha plants that you gotta avoid, like for like the second half of the track, both close to where the feet are and where the back of Yoshi's head is. There's also like a little Yoshi helicopter that you see at the end of the track. I do like that little reference to Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, by the way, because I like that reference quite a bit. Yoshi Circuit, I'll give that an A. Anyway, DK Mountain is up next, and oh boy, I love DK Mountain. I love DK Mountain in Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash DK Mountain rock. And you want to know what I love about DK Mountain? Hearing characters scream after they shoot off the DK cannon from like the very beginning of the track to flying towards an angry volcano. And really, I think that's a pretty cool touch. There's also like boulders that you have to avoid, and there's like a little shortcut gap that you can do if done correctly, and there's like an unstable bridge that tries to throw you off the map. It rules, man. Like, seriously. I love DK Mountain. I have to give this one an S. This is like one of the most very memorable tracks of the game. Aside from Baby Park, for its chaotic nature at that. So, yeah, DK Mountain is going to join the S rank with Baby Park. In fact, I think I'm going to put this ahead of DK Mountain. I'm going to put this ahead of Baby Park, because I don't want anyone to think Baby Park is my number one, because I do love Baby Park, but at the same time I hate it. But, yeah. 4 tracks left, and we're on to the Special Cup. And next we have Wario Coliseum. Wario Coliseum, probably one of the longest tracks of the game, which you only having to do 2 laps. And really, it's a chore, man. And Wario Coliseum is fun, dude. I'm really surprised that this track has not been remade yet, because there's like a bunch of jumps in that stuff, and like different sections in that. Like, it's almost like doing a dirt bike challenge or something, and like trying to entertain your audience in a similar way that Waluigi Stadium does. There's not much hazards going on aside from the spinning fire bar from like each ramp, but Mario Coliseum, I feel like this is like the best track where you can use your item to your advantage off the narrow path, like melee towards a jump. And Wario Coliseum, this is probably like another memorable one in my book. But where is it gonna go though? Is it gonna be an A or is it gonna be an S? That's a good question, actually. That's a tough one. Because I do love this track so much. Honestly, I'm going to put this in A tier. Ahead of Waluigi Stadium, at least. Next, we have Dino Jungle. Yet another memorable track where dinos are the obstacle, as well as the cracked water holes. There are some tricky shortcuts that you can do this time around, and one of them is on the bridge section, because slipping off the bridge will send you into the water, and you don't want that. There's also a little shortcut that you can do just to go past all the water hose and that stuff, and you can also dodge. You also have to dodge the dino's head. There's a lot going on with Dino Jungle, and this one stands out just as well as DK Mountain does. Dino Jungle, I gotta put this probably in S tier, because this track is challenging, dude, and And I loved this track. It's fun. Very fun. And that same can also be said for Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Castle is like a gauntlet of obstacles. Swamp, fireballs, coming from the side, spinning fireballs, Bowser's statue shooting fireballs at you. It gives you a lot to look at. And Bowser laughs every time you're hit by an object or an item. Bowser Castle, this is probably got to be one of the best Bowser Castle in the game. One of them, at least. But there could be other Bowser Castles that could contest that in later Mario Kart titles. So, but yeah, aside from the 64 Bowser Castle, I also think Double Dash Bowser Castle is awesome. Like, most of the Special Cup tracks, in my opinion, are awesome. And that same can also be said for Rainbow Road. Now, do I think this is the best Rainbow Road for Double Dash? No, but I do enjoy the track so much. Like, this one also gives you a challenge. Like, there's a bunch of loop arounds. Like trying to stay on the track, it can be pretty challenging. And there's also a slim chance that you can get a star from one of the shooting stars that fall from the sky. And Rainbow Road, it's just as challenging as all these other 3 tracks that I mentioned for the Special Cup. And a lot of these Rainbow Roads, they're pretty memorable in their own ways. Question is, does it beat every other track? Well, I honestly think so. Putting Bowser's Castle ahead of Dino Jungle, now that I think about it even more. Anyway, for Rainbow Road, I'm gonna put this at... I'm gonna put this ahead of every other track. So yeah, Mario Kart Double Dash, very great game. I would highly suggest you try this game, cause if you love playing Double Dash, love using double character, love using the item, and a special item, and like to try out the track, you should give it a try, cause I get lots of nostalgia for Mario Kart Double Dash, man. Like, there is a bunch of tracks that's good. Although I did have a few that was in the mid or bad category at that. So yeah, that's my tier list. So in S rank, we got the Double Dash Rainbow Road, DK Mountain, Bowser's Castle, Dino Jungle, and Baby Park. A tier, we have Wario Coliseum, Waluigi Stadium, and Yoshi Circuit. B tier is Luigi Circuit, Mushroom City, and Daily Cruiser. C tier, Peach Beach, Mushroom Bridge, Sherbet Land, and Mario Circuit. And in D tier, we have Dry Desert. Now, Dry Desert, I don't think this is the worst course of the game, but for this game, it is. I still think Vanilla Lake is worse than all the other tracks that we've done so far, and I need no reason to explain about that. But anyway, yeah. So I think with that, that's going to do it for this tier list. That will make up for the month of May. And next time, we look at our next handheld Mario Kart game, Mario Kart DS. And we will rank the Nitros and the Retro track next time. Thank you guys for watching this. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to punch that like button. And until then, I am Fightman64. See you all. Have a good day. Game on, my friend, and take care. Goodbye, everybody, and stay safe. Adios.